Bumpaloo squirrels! So hello, and welcome to a very exciting Legends of Runeterra video. My name is Chris, and today we play our first time with the new set. It's just come out. I've literally played one game of this, and then I decided, right, let's go for it. Let's record. I theory crafted this beforehand, and so here we are now with it in all its glory. This is the first deck we are going to play, and it is Sej and Yeti. Sejuani was probably my favorite champion reveal of them all, and I love the Yeti archetype, always have, and so this is the new updated Yeti deck that I think could be good. Obviously we have no idea what's going to be good for quite some time now. It's going to take a while, especially in these early days. Everyone's going to be trying out new stuff, and we aren't trying out Bilgewater, but I am definitely going to put out at least another video that will be a Bilgewater deck. It could be some sea monsters, because sea monsters looks a lot of fun as well. But let's talk about this deck. So this is a Sejuani deck, as you may see, and Sejuani can be built. What's great about Sejuani is it can be built in quite a lot of ways. This is more of a mid-range build. You're going to be looking to win the game on turns, 7, 8, something like that. But you can build Sejuani to be a lot later and go for a ramp deck, and go with her ship. You can build her in so many ways. You can build it with Bilgewater if you want. You can build it with Noxus. I think those will be the main regions she pairs with. You could build maybe even a top end and like a self-damage archetype as well. So many possibilities, and I'm so excited to play. So let's talk you through the deck. Well, we still are keeping, of course, a lot of the tools from the Yeti decks from the last set, and this is why I think this might be a good deck to start off with, because you don't need that many new cards. So if you are a bit down on wild cards, or you don't have many shards left, or you maybe haven't got a full collection, this could be a good deck for you, because if you do have, quite a few Freljord cards from the old set, then you probably will have most of the cards already. So let's talk about them. So Elixir of Iron and Omen Hawk, I don't really need to tell you why these are good cards. Elixir of Iron is essentially them wasting a spell. That's the whole point of this, or you winning a combat phase. Omen Hawk is probably the best one drop in the game, although of course now it could all change with the new set. We actually don't have a 2-drop, but that's fine as well, because we do have a lot of 3-mana spells, so floating on 1 and 2 is fine for this deck, something that we're fine with doing. We've got Trapper, of course, who is a 3/3, and it's important as well, of course, that if we are floating 1 and 2, you have to have a 3-mana play. We do have a lot of 3-drops, so it should be happening quite a lot. So with Trapper, we've got our first Yeti enabler, then we come to the first new card, Death's Hand, and we're running a few one-offs. Obviously this deck is not optimized, we don't know what's good, what's bad, but there are some plunder effects that we might want to enable, and this does allow you to enable them quite easily. Obviously just playing it will enable it for you, and so that's why this is in the deck as an extra plunder enabler. And I think it's a pretty solid card overall. A lot of things do tend to have 2 health. And so with the extra added ability to plunder, and especially because a lot of the time we will be floating 1 and 2, it will mean that we get the plunder ability to go off with Death's Hand. Ember Maiden is an incredible card. I'm sure you've seen other people talk about it. That it is, again, an amazing plunder enabler. Importantly, it doesn't enable plunder for your opponent because they aren't dealing damage. Ember Maiden is, and that obviously doesn't count towards them achieving plunder, so extremely strong card. The deck isn't built around this card. I think you would want to go for a self-damage if you wanted to really build an Ember Maiden deck, but it's a really solid card that shuts down aggro pretty much single-handedly and can just help you stabilize against aggro, or get plunder effects off if you're playing against a slower deck. Katarina is, again, a pretty decent plunder enabler, because of course most people don't want to block Katarina, because essentially their units just take damage for nothing, because when she strikes she recalls. So most people won't want to block Katarina, which again is a good plunder enabler. And again with Yetis, I think that's where she actually fits best, because I've said this before in other Yeti decks, the Katarina wants board control and big units to attack with. Yetis, oh, and low mana cost cards to play, right? Yetis are 1 mana 5/5s if you get them, which fits Katarina perfectly. You have the board, and you know, let's say it's turn 4, you can put a Yeti down and Katarina down, for instance. So if they fulfill that role pretty well. Might here is an extra way to get Overwhelm, which when we're playing a lot of big things can be pretty important. Obviously, Yeti's problem can often be that they just get chumped out, but with some new cards, we'll see that Might is not the only way we can achieve this. Noxian Fervor as well, I think is a pretty solid card. It's essentially Noxus's Glimpse Beyond. I'm not sure, it's very good aggro card, obviously, because you can just deal 3 straight to face. It's okay in this deck, it's not ideal. Things will actually often survive this. It can be a good way to kill someone at the end of the game, I guess. But a Yeti will survive this strike anyway, so it's not really a glimpse in that sense. So it's just a one-off for now. Tall Tales, more Yetis, Whirling Death. We've got big units that should be able to survive stuff, therefore Whirling Death should be pretty good. Assessor, we're playing, obviously, Yetis are 5 attack. There's a lot more 5 attacks. Sejuani herself, more Yetis coming down the line that we'll talk about. Essentially just gives us a very good card draw condition. Kato the Arm, again, giving Overwhelm. There's a theme there, you know, that once our stuff gets Overwhelm, it's pretty good. This card, more so than Sejuani, this card is the card that ties this deck together. Ursine Spirit Walker Plunder. I transform into Stormclaw Ursine. Stormclaw Ursine is a 6/6 Overwhelm. Other allies with 5+ power have Overwhelm. All the Yetis get Overwhelm, and you get a 6/6 Overwhelm. This is why Plunder can be so important for this card alone. This is what we need to enable Plunder for, to make sure we get this card so that all our Yetis have Overwhelm, and we are absolutely laughing. Reckoning, again, we're playing a lot of 5 attack things, and so Reckoning can just be a mid-range killer and essentially win the game for us. Sejuani has crucially 5 attack, and her playability is pretty insane. It's basically just a 6 mana 5/6 Overwhelm with removal on it. That's just good, and that's the thing, we aren't really playing for Sejuani's level up condition. I think that would be a different deck than this one. We're essentially playing her for a front side. She's a very good 6-drop that with 5 attack and, you know, kills something for us as well, and this deck doesn't have the most removal, therefore it can be very, very good for us. And her signature spell as well, Fury of the North, is also pretty good in this deck. You know, if they leave something unblocked, deal an extra 4/4, and we are loving it. And finally, Ancient Yeti is another, obviously Yeti, another 5 attack. It's got Overwhelm already, so it doesn't get helped out, I guess you would say, by other things in getting Overwhelm. But this is such a good card in general. If there was a card that was a 4 mana 5/5 Overwhelm, everyone would play it, and that's what it will be if you start with it in hand. But even if you don't, as the game goes on, essentially you care less and less about mana and more about just getting a good body down. And a 5/5 Overwhelm is obviously a very good body, so therefore it is a good card. And now, with that said, let's jump into some games. As God knows what other people will be playing. I'm so excited. Enjoy. So Yasuo is our first opponent. Interesting. I think Yasuo got some neat tools to add to his collection. Stun could be pretty good against us, I'll be honest. But we'll see what happens. If we get an early Trapper, that's pretty good. I don't think we can ever get rid of this card because it's such an important aspect to our deck. Elixir of Iron could be okay as well. I'll drop the Sejuani as we look for some more earlier plays here. But I'll keep the Elixir of Iron as well. As we get an Ember Maiden, so I'm thinking Trapper, Ender Maiden into you, and hopefully laugh, maybe even you, Ember Maiden, Yeti, and just laugh all the way home. He plays a Fey Blade Twirler. This could be a bit scary, of course, when its attack gets really high, and very, 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 very scary. Ooh. He just is going to pass first, so we'll play the Trapper down. Okay, nice little turn for him there. He's going to get quite a bit of damage on us. It's fine. We were never going to pass there, because obviously we do want to have our mana. And we do get the Yeti. So I am gonna just straight up play the Yeti. And now, with that board there, I think we can afford... Do I want to play the Ember Maiden to get you? I probably do, right? Or do I want to go Katarina? I think we'll attack with both. We'll start off with the attack. I think we are going to go Ember Maiden. He's going to block, that's interesting. He's not going to block. That's fine as well. So we will just play our Ember Maiden now. And end the round there. And now we will obviously get the plunder. Or at least I hope we do. So we should get the plunder now and get our 6/6 overwhelm. We do. So now our Yetis will have overwhelm. Pretty exciting. So this means that he's got some sort of stun effect. One would think it would be the new card. That's going to take this up to 5. So he's going to stun this, I would think. Concussive Palm, I think it is. Oh, just straight up Will of Ionia. Okay. Okay. And at this point, I think it's probably wise to remove the Fey Blade Twirl before that comes too much problem. Our Ember Maiden is actually going to kill this. Huh. Maybe I should have thought about that. So what are we going to do now? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. We're going to play Katarina first. He's just going to play a House Spider. I want to see what he's going to do first. So I'm going to just Blade's Edge the Shadow Assassin. We want to remove this anyway, right? Can't play our Stormclaw now, so that's fine. But this is just straight up... Ooh, that's an interaction I wasn't aware of. And we can afford to play the Ancient Yeti. We are pretty low already. Just Culling Strikes. Culling Strike, not a card I was really expecting to see. But that's fine as well. We can get a nice 5 damage there straight away. See what he does here. So he plays another Fey. We could go Katarina and Trifarian Assessor. I don't hate it. Let's go Trifarian Assessor, I think. Yep, that was always likely going to be the case. Can't afford to play the second Katarina. So he's going to attack with all. That's interesting. At 3 mana, he could have Twin Disciplines. So we definitely need to be careful of that. So that means that we still die to Twin right now. So we might just have to sacrifice Katarina here, in all honesty. And we can kill this. I do think we have to block like that. The likelihood of him being on Twins is a bit too high. Now we have a choice here as well. Do we want to open or develop? He could have Yone. He really could have Yone. So but he could have Steel Tempest. But either way, we can kill the Fae. So we'll just attack. We'll see what he does. So he gives this Spirit's Refuge. So now we go in. And we get it. Ooh, mama. Ooh, that was getting a bit dicey. And as I said, about turn 7 and 8 is when you'll probably be winning these games. And oh look, we're unlocking Bilgewater. Let's see if we can. Let's see what I crack open in my first Bilgewater capsule. As I said, I think this is a pretty good. Oh, Yodel Grifter. That's pretty good. Smooth Soloist. Not bad either. It's fine by me. We'll jump into another game. Nox Ezreal. Interesting game. This actually shouldn't be too bad because our things are so big, right? We aren't playing early things, we're playing sort of later on. Double Omen Hawk. Don't mind if I do. The Tall Tales I am actually going to keep in the hope that we can find a Yeti. We can't. But this is the kind of card that can... Ooh, we can find a Yeti. That can just win you the game. Obviously he's going to get some pings off on these Omen Hawks, but that's fine. So we'll just open attack with this Omen Hawk. As we get an Ember Maiden, buffed up Ember Maiden. Pretty neat. But we might want to float here on 3 so that we can play 4 into that. Woo! Yep. Pretty obvious, but that's fine. Because this next turn we're gonna go pretty big on him, I'm hoping. So we see another Ancient Yeti. So yeah, we'll play the big 5/5. Could Thermo Beam? See, that means that the likelihood is he can't remove this now, which gives us extra big attack. Bah. He'll obviously block like that, but that's fine as well because of the overwhelm. So he's down on 13 already, and the race begins. Now we can draw 3 cards with this if we want. So he just goes for Progress Day straight up. Into a Thermo Beam? Is that just to draw cards? It probably is, right? So I think with that we probably would just want to go straight in for Kato. And now we have an interesting choice. He's down on 6 mana. Probably does have some level of removal. If we slow play, he could have another Cast Salesman. But I don't think that's as bad. So I think I actually do want to just draw the extra cards. I think it's going to help us in the long run. Now look at how many cards we just drew. So yeah, he rummages away. Okay, yeah, he gets this. Sentry as well. But I'm kind of okay with this, because I think we just made our long game much better. And we will obviously be attacking still. We're just putting so much pressure on him, right? Like, the pressure is unbelievable. Now, he very well could have the card which says stun when attacking. That might be within his range. Don't know. Oh, so he's going to go for a big Noxian Guillotine turn. So he gets to kill both of these as well if he wishes. So we need to use our mana efficiently and effectively here, which I think the best way to do is just play 2 units. And that is probably Trapper into Yeti. Right now we'll pass though. we've still got a good board. 4 mana. A 4 mana, we can assume this and assume it will survive. Unless it's Blade's Edge into second Guillotine. Or into Guillotine again. Okay, Blade's Edge on Kato. And you would assume that's into Noxus Guillotine again. So yeah, we'll obviously play the Trapper. His Ezreal is now leveled up. You have to assume that he can kill this. He's saying good game, I just do not believe him in any way. But even if he does kill this, we can kill him with Ember Maiden next round. So is that the play? Is that the play? He could also get excited this. I think his options are better. So I might want to play... I think playing the Overwhelm Yeti is the best option. So he goes for Ezreal. I highly doubt he has enough different cards to kill us from 18. So we can afford the attack. He surely can't. He just can't, right? Yeah, he can have 3 things. But I would highly doubt with 5 mana he's got enough to kill me. If these were all well, they can't all be Mystic Shots. But let's assume 2 of them are. So yeah, he kills those 2. He goes down to 3. We can Whirling Death here to there, and that puts him down to -1, and we will win this game. Never ever believe someone who Shen emotes. They're always lying to you. And so there we go. This deck, I think, has genuine potential. I really do. It's probably not the most exciting deck that you could be playing right now, simply because it's not really a Sejuani deck. It's a Yeti deck, right? In most ways, it is a Yeti deck, but I think if you are struggling for cards, seriously, build this deck, because all you need is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You need 11 cards, most of which, I mean, I don't know how this is common, most of which are common. So it shouldn't be that hard to build. But with that said, I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm gonna be banging out videos. I mean, you can see on my decks here. We've got a lot of ideas to go through, and that was just things I thought of yesterday in the space of about 2 hours. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, and I'm extremely excited, and I hope you guys are too. I know you guys are too. So thank you for watching. I've been Chris. Have a really nice day.